So is there some secret Knight Rider Historians fan page where you guys get together and decide what you want to see next on the channel? And then all of the members of this secret fan society page bombard us with requests for the same thing? If so, cool. Lately, we've been getting a lot of requests for a video on Michael Long's Trans Am from the pilot. Where did it come from? What happened to it after the pilot? Was it turned into KITT? Today we will do what we do best in regards to this car. Way overanalyze it more than any human ever should. So stick around. Or don't. I mean, do you really have anything better to do? Well, is Webster on? If Webster's on, I should probably go too. In order to paint the proper picture, we must first discuss the timeline of events surrounding the pilot, starting with the first Friday in April of 1982, April 2nd to be precise. Glenn A. Larson, series creator and writer of the pilot, needed some brand new Trans Ams in order to film his 15-minute sizzle reel, officially called a pilot presentation, to show to NBC executives in New York in hopes that they would order it to a series. Larson went to the Vista Group, a product placement firm founded in the 1970s that focused on placing vehicles in movies, television shows, and other high-visibility special events. Now, if you've been a follower of this channel for a while, we've talked about Vista Group quite a bit. Larson knew the guys at Vista Group for years and knew that they would be the ones to make it happen. After some meetings, phone calls, and creative shuffling of dealer delivery schedules, they were able to secure 3 brand new black 1982 Pontiac Trans Ams for the show. On that April 2nd of 1982, 2 guys from Vista Group, along with Harker Wade, a producer on the pilot and friend of Larson's, went down to the General Motors Van Nuys production plant, and each left with a Trans Am. 2 of those cars went to car customizer John Ward to configure the outside to look like KITT. Well, at least to look like the KITT that was originally envisioned by Larson. You know, with the stock-looking front nose, front ground effects. The 3rd driver went to Michael Chaffee's shop so that he could begin the interior design, construction, and installation. Chaffee and Ward had exactly 3 weeks to finish their respective projects, as the filming of the pilot was to commence on Friday, April 23rd, 1982, and last through the weekend. All hands were on deck that weekend, to include series star David Hasselhoff, to film the scenes that were to be presented to NBC to hopefully greenlight the series. The pilot presentation was shown to NBC executives on April 26, 1982, and by April 29th, 3 days later, newspapers of the day were already reporting that the show was to premiere that fall. Clearly, the pilot presentation that Larson put together was a hit. NBC executives bought it immediately. Hey you! Yeah, you with the eyeballs. Are you subscribed to our channel? Well, you should be. Every time a subscribe button and bell are clicked, a crime fighter gets his red turtleneck. With the series entering production in early July of 1982, that left the crew about 10 weeks to prepare and film the full pilot episode. In order to save money and time, many of the scenes filmed for the pilot presentation were spliced into the final broadcast version. The crew's main focus when full production started in July of 1982 was to film the rest of the episode. Some of those scenes they needed to film included the opening at the casino and the ensuing car chase into the desert between Michael Long, played by Larry Anderson, and Lonnie, played by Sean Southwick. In order to film these scenes, they needed a completely stock Trans Am. But there was one problem. The 3 cars already allotted to the show had all been, for lack of a better term, kittified. Where were they going to get a stock TA to film these brief but important scenes? With Pontiac's gravy train no longer an option, meaning they weren't going to get any more free cars, Universal Studios most likely went to a local dealership and purchased one. That dealership would have probably been Bob Ruman Pontiac, the same dealership that Universal would purchase another Knight Rider Trans Am from later in Season 1, and also a stone's throw away from Universal Studios. Now, we don't have any cold, hard facts around the acquisition of this 4th car, but our theory makes sense. With the series greenlit, the studio could devote additional money to securing another car. This stock Trans Am was brought in to film the scenes with Larry Anderson as Michael Long and Phyllis Davis as Tanya Walker. Well, almost completely stock Trans Am. Take a closer look at the TA used in those scenes, and you'll see that the red Pontiac emblems on the hubcaps are not there, perhaps foreshadowing this car's fate? So what happened to this car after they finished filming the scenes with it in a stock configuration? Well, as our theory goes, it was owned by the studio, so it was later converted into another kit car. Remember, the pilot presentation was filmed with 3 cars, but the full pilot has 4 distinct kit cars in it. The hero car, the backup to the hero car, the general purpose stunt car, and the roll-caged acrylic windowed jump car. This Michael Long stock Trans Am was converted, we believe, into the general purpose stunt car used for the majority of Season 1. Unfortunately, it was destroyed before the end of the season and no longer exists. So, all you guys who pummeled our inbox with video requests on this car, I hope this satisfies your curiosity. Please keep the suggestions coming. What should we dive into next? The origins of Michael's hamburger and how it came from a cow that was a direct descendant of one of the O'Leary cows, which caused the Great Chicago Fire of 1871? As always, thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.
And now, while we listen to Joe's selection of Knight Rider music that we received directly from Don Peake himself, we'd like to thank these Patreon supporters. Look at you guys scrolling up the screen to my right. Wait a minute, how can you tell which side is my right, since you can't see me because I'm not on camera? Oh well, you know what I mean. We're featuring these fine supporters at our Knight Rider Prop Restorer level. Thank you very much for your support. And for those of you at the Knight Rider History Hunter level, we're recognizing you right now in the description. Now, if you enjoyed seeing this golden nugget of Knight Rider history being rescued from obscurity, then please consider supporting us on Patreon. Your support would empower us to bring you even more of these historical nuggets. We are the Knight Rider Historians. Till next time, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.